next we got Mr. David Diego Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, how's everyone doing? Woo! All right, nice crowd. Okay. All right. I had a granola bar for breakfast this morning. Yeah, because my wife decided to give out granola bars for Halloween, and the kids rang the doorbell. Like, first kids come up, and I give them granola bars, and they were not very happy. So they're walking away, and they're telling the other kids, "Don't go to that house. They're giving away granola bars." And nobody came to the house for a long time, you know. And just to make sure, I put that box of granola bars on the front porch, and I put a sign, "Take one." And nobody rang the doorbell. Oh, but the first kids came back and returned their granola bars. So if you want granola bars, send me. Yeah. So I have 3 names. You know. I don't have a lot of money, but I have 3 names, so I got that going. I grew up poor, following the family tradition. You know, so one time I was a victim of identity theft, and my credit score went up. You know, so I was able to get that car loan. I'm a Spanish teacher. Spanish is my first language, so I'm a Spanish teacher. Oh, when I was growing up, I went to school, speaking of schools. I didn't know any English. My parents sent me off to kindergarten, and I didn't know what was going on, but luckily I sat next to Bridget Riley. So I said, I'll just do everything Bridget does. Bridget takes out her crayons, I take out my crayons. Bridget Bridget puts her head down and take a nap. I put my head down and take a nap. Bridget stands up and says, "Hello, my name is Bridget Riley." I stand up and I say, "Hello, my name is Bridget Riley." I didn't know what was going on, you know. Then later on I got in trouble because she got up and got in line, and I followed her to the girls' bathroom. So I didn't know. It was a disadvantage at that age, but now I teach Spanish. So when I was a new teacher, the students used to mess with me, you know, so that, you know, one student, he says, "I know Spanish." "Well, how much Spanish do you know?" He goes, "Look, my name is Roberto." I'm like, "Well, Roberto is Spanish." And at the university where I teach, a lot of students take Spanish because they think it's the easiest language. They think all you gotta do is add O to any English word, and you have Spanish, right? And plus they think they know some words like taco and burrito because they've been to Taco Bell, so they think it's easy, you know? And so they would mess with me. So like one time it was like, "How do you say?" No. In Spanish, like, "¿Cómo se dice?" Okay, "¿Cómo se dice burrito?" It's like burrito's already in Spanish, all right? And if you go to Mexico, don't ask for a burrito because they'll be wondering what you plan on doing with a small donkey. And then another one they would ask me it's like, "Oh, how do you say jazz hands in Spanish?" I'm like, "Oh, that's easy. Manos de flamenco." You know, hey, whatever. And then my favorite one though was, "How do you say bootylicious?" And I was like, "Well, that's not in the dictionary." So I said, "Oh, it's easy. Bootylicious." And then, I like to ask the students, why did you pick Spanish, you know, out of all the other languages? And they tell me things like, "Oh, Spanish is a beautiful language," or "I'm Mexican and I don't speak Spanish." One student told me, "Oh, at the restaurant where I work, all the cooks speak Spanish." I'm like, "Oh, really? Where do you work?" And he says, "P.F. Chang's." And then after a while, after about the 6th week of the semester, he says, "What kind of Spanish are you teaching us? I still don't know what the cooks are saying." I was like, "What are they telling you?" And he tells me, I'm like, "Oh, they're swearing at you. They want you to work harder." Yeah. Oh, one time I was in a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. And I just thought I'd go have dinner, and there's these two elderly women sitting at a table, and then it's one of those restaurants where you can see the grill and then the busboy. They're both Mexican, but they're both swearing at each other, and I'm like kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh my god, But then after a while, the two ladies, one of them says to the other, "Oh, Spanish is such a beautiful language." Even while they were swearing. Oh, you ever watch those movies and they're in Spanish, and then they have the subtitles, and then I'm always, they just don't get it right, because they'll be swearing at each other back and forth, and the subtitle will say, "You moron," and that wasn't even close. Let's see. Oh yeah, speaking of doing good things, I have a rescue dog. A couple weeks ago, we went to Lake Michigan to do a beach cleanup, and while I was there, not one dolphin was caught in a tuna net, so I'm doing my part for the environment, Yeah. So, and it's a rescue dog. We had a dog for like 17 years, and it finally passed away. And I didn't want another dog, but all I kept hearing was like, "Dad, can we get another dog? Dad, we'll feed him. Dad, we'll walk him." And that was just my wife. So we go to Chicago, and we get this dog. And his name is Earl. And I didn't want to change the name because Earl, have you ever met a dog named Earl? No, right? So I thought Earl's perfect because before we had a dog named Duke, Queenie, and Princess. So Earl fits right in with that royal lineage, So we kind of like that. And I kind of didn't like it, but it's like, oh, so Earl is a mutt. And they're like, no, I don't want to cancel, but he's a mixed breed. And so we take him home, and guess who's walking him in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening? Me, So, but there's a lot of benefits to having a dog. Like I get a lot of exercise, I get to socialize. So I met Stella and Rocco and Louie. Those are just the dogs. I can't name one owner. So, and my wife and I decided, hey, let's get his DNA done, see what he is, and we didn't know what he was. But before we went to the shelter, we said, whatever, we both agreed, no Chihuahuas, no Pit Bulls, but then we're curious, what is this dog? And we get his DNA done. It turns out he's half Chihuahua, half Pit Bull. And he looks like a Chihuahua on steroids. And after a while, my wife decided, you two are going to obedience school. She signed us up for obedience school, but I'm pretty sure it was more for me than for the dog, And we were a good team, though. We graduated at the top of the class, and then we were good. We learned good commands like sit, stay, paw, right? And after 6 weeks of obedience school, even my wife will admit that I am a very good boy. So then when I come home, she's like, sit, stay. But there's benefit to that too, because late at night, sometimes she's like, paw. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to end it there. So thank you.
David Diego Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.